just started making dinner, so now I'm gonna start making dessert. I thought all day long about how I wanted toffee bark for dessert. I'm out of toffee bark, and I was thinking, well, maybe I want a chocolate chip cookie, and I'm also out of chocolate chip cookies. And then I thought, why don't I just combine toffee bark and chocolate chip cookies and make toffee chocolate chip cookies? I'm gonna make the toffee first, then make some chocolate chip cookies with the toffee pieces. I can't believe I never thought of that before. That was my last stick of softened butter. I'm gonna soften 2 sticks of butter while I make the toffee by taking butter, putting it in my sweatpants. It's very cold. I did 1 stick of butter, half a cup of sugar. I always use salted butter. I use salted butter for everything. Pretty much every recipe calls for unsalted butter, but and a pinch of salt. Give it a little shimmy shake. Another shimmy shake. It's beautiful. Starting to brown on the edges right there. Getting close. Very close. We're just about there. Toffee goes from done to burnt in like 2 seconds. Just gonna let that sit while I make the cookie dough. My butter. For the recipe, I literally just use the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie recipe. I make a couple adjustments. It's basically that. 2 sticks of butter, softened in the waistband of my sweatpants. 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I always use dark brown sugar. For some reason, my brown sugar is really lumping hardcore, not packing the way I would like it to. Something strange is happening. Hopefully things work out for us. You want to actually really cream it well. Your butter and your sugars you want to make sure are super creamy and super fluffy. It's the only way I can describe it. I'll show you when I get there. People often stop right here. My brown sugar is not fully incorporating, so I'm gonna let it go longer just because of that. You want it to be fluffy. A little hard to tell the difference, but there is a difference. 1 egg at a time. You're gonna let it rip on the eggs. Let it go again until it's really fluffy. I let this go with both eggs in here for like 10 minutes. Just fluffy. A lot of vanilla. I don't use measuring spoons. I don't believe in it. I've also substituted maple syrup for vanilla in the past, and I found that I like them better with vanilla bean paste or maple syrup, not vanilla extract. For the purposes of chocolate chip cookie, vanilla bean paste equals maple syrup. This is the part you don't want to overmix. This can go forever. Get nice and super fluffy. Once you add the dry, don't overmix it. Overmixing is what makes cookies like tough, I think. Even with this much flour is the point when I would stop using my mixer because I really don't want to overmix. Here's the toffee. It's still a little warm, but it cracks. Break it up. These need to be smaller though, so. Toffee bits in with the chocolate chips. I'm gonna dump the chocolate chips on the toffee tray, and this way I can dip the cookies in this mixture. Ta-da! All the flour got incorporated, even though I didn't use the mixer the whole time. Now I'm gonna make these into cookie balls, dip them in here, and put them in the freezer. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a cookie in my entire life. They look so crazy. Look at that. Into a plastic bag, into the freezer. I'm gonna straw vacuum seal them, even though I'm gonna open the bag in like 45 minutes, just because it's fun. It doesn't work as well when there's parchment on the bottom, but ta-da! They're vacuum sealed. We had salmon bowls for dinner. My bag of freezer cookies, freezer frozen. I'm gonna make 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the freezer for like 2 hours. Toffee, chocolate chunk. Toffee, chocolate chunk. Hoping this tiny tray is not too tiny. I switched trays to give them just like a little bit more space to breathe. 12 minutes, maybe 14. Oh, leakage and touching. Leakage and touching. They're definitely still too warm to eat, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to eat one right now because I have no patience. I think they look really good. The longer they're in the freezer, the less they'll flatten out. I think in a couple days, the dough is gonna be perfect. They look so good. I just tried to cut it in half. Obviously, that did not work. So ooey gooey. Like the cookie is cooked, but it's the toffee that's gooey. Oh dear. Oh, that's crazy. That's exactly what I was hoping it would taste like. It's like toffee crunchy, toffee salty, but also gooey and like chocolate chippy. Looks like a hot mess. Is delicious. And cookie dough really does get better with age. The longer it's in the freezer, the better it's gonna be. Like that's all toffee on the bottom. So it's like chewy and crunchy and salty. I'm obsessed with that. Absolutely perfect.